for Mitch to be the top pick lets me know all I need to know about this season. Okay. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is doing okay and everyone is doing well. As always, another day, another Love Island review. I would definitely say that today's episode was defo better than yesterday's, and a lot of you agreed, not only on Twitter but also in yesterday's video. Your comments, I read them and I also received them. But yeah, let's get into today's review. So as I usually and always say, number one, if you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe and defo join the family. Also be sure to follow me on my Instagram and also on my Twitter at SarahDestinyX. We are doing a giveaway at 28k. I know that's right. And number three, as I usually and always say, please get cozy and comfy for hot or some snacks. And let's get into today's review. So let's start off with Mitch and Georgia having a conversation about how much he is attracted to her and that he knew her way before, which was very interesting. I think either him or her, one of them said that they actually watched the season, well, the season that the other person was in prior to coming on the show, but I thought they didn't know who was going to be on Love Island All-Star. So that one was, I don't know, there's something is glitching somewhere. But the truth of the matter is, I just needed Mitch to act like he's been here before in that situation. Like, I understand he definitely has a crush on her, fangirling, all that type of stuff, but he needs to act like he was even just on the show because his season wasn't that far off. Let's move on to Chris and Molly speaking, getting to know each other. I'm going to speak about them closer towards the end because you guys saw the ending, so I'll hold on my thoughts for now, and I'll share that in a bit. Okay. Also, let's move on to Lewis and Demi having a conversation. So he did say that he is 1,000,000% interested in her. You guys already know, I do think that Demi is a very beautiful girl. Like I said, I don't know if I'm obsessed with ginger heads, but she's stunning. And she has such a bubbly personality, and I do really like that. And someone actually commented on my, on my Instagram live, not Instagram, Sarah. Someone commented, sorry guys, my head is in the clouds, on my YouTube live, the first one that we done for episode 1, saying that he is allegedly a deadbeat dad of 2. That's scary. Okay, now let's move on to Kaz and Liberty having a conversation. She was speaking about Mitch and how stressed out she is because, you know, she really doesn't want to lay it on too thick. She wants to take it easy. She really likes him, blah blah blah. I didn't really say this in yesterday's review, that for Mitch to be the top pick lets me know all I need to know about this season. Okay, very shocking, but of course Kaz was just trying to give her advice, telling her to take it easy and also take it slow. But generally speaking, I don't, obviously I'm not in the villain, I've never met Mitch in real life or anything like that, but just from what we see, I just feel like Mitch will always just be messy, and we're going to see that as this episode unfolds as well. But it's just always giving messy Mitch, and the fact that he's the top pick in this season, it makes me shy. Okay, it definitely makes me shy. Now let's move on to the following morning with a few of the chit chats. One thing I have noticed in this season so far is the chit chats are actually mixed with the girls and the boys. So it's not just the girls going away and the boys going away, and it's different islanders as well. So I did kind of like that, if I'm going to be honest with you. Let's start off with Jake and Georgia H. They were meditating, talking about their chakras and stuff being aligned. Now I am not necessarily a yoga, meditation, chakra type of girl. Okay, we plead the blood of Jesus over here, period. But Jake did say that he did feel quite, you know, quite relieved and, you know, a breath of fresh air when he actually did finish meditating with her. Moving on to Toby, Liberty and Kaz talking. She said, of course, she wants to keep Mitch on his toes. Once again, we're going to see the storyline come up again because something goes on later on with Mitch and Demi as well. And Toby, of course, confirming that he is still open and Georgia is still open, that they may have had history in the past, which is very understandable. I do feel like from yesterday's episode, it could have been perceived that Georgia was really laying it on thick, like she's so happy to be with Toby and she's kissing him and hugging and da-da-da-da-da. But it's early days, do you know what I mean? It's definitely early days, and I don't feel like Toby's the type to see a girl right now and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna stick with her. Nah, babes, you're not my wife, you're not my husband. Our door is still open. And of course, yeah, I think that's it from the morning chats. There wasn't really that much gist, but you know we have to cover these because some of you guys aren't actually watching the show, but you're watching my reviews. And as much as I appreciate that, I hope you know I'm taking one for the team. Okay, now let's move on to Mitch and Demi having a conversation. He said that he wants to call her his girlfriend one day, and then they agreed on the nickname Sexy Pants. Of course, Demi, as cute as she is, bubbly, laughing, giggling, Mitch ends up saying the exact same line to Demi that he literally just said to Georgia the night before, i.e., you know, like, I liked you even before I entered the show. So it was giving messy Mitch once again, showing himself. Okay, I'm not surprised. And Mitch's season was how many seasons ago? Wasn't it last season? Yeah, Mitch was last season. I don't see change coming anytime soon. Okay, let's say that. Of course, Mitch now also ended up pulling Liberty for a chat, and whilst he was speaking to Liberty, then Demi was also looking, and she was looking a bit jealous. So there's definitely a triangle low-key forming between them. But we will also get into the conversation with Mitch and Toby, because essentially Toby told him that he needs to stop being messy Mitch and he needs to start being moving Mitch. And I won't lie, that was a cheeky little bar, if I do say so myself. But yeah, it's true, because yeah, I do know it is early days and stuff, and Toby actually gave quite good advice now that I'm thinking back on it. But yes, it is early days, and I do understand you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, but at the same time, you need to literally pick someone that you want to continue to get to know whilst in the villa before someone else comes and they sweep them off their feet, etc, etc. So I feel like Mitch is definitely leaning more towards Liberty than Demi, in my opinion, and I'm saying that as well because I feel like Demi still has ties to Lewis as well, but we'll get into that shortly as well. And let's move on to Chris. Guys, Chris is as messy as Mitch. My gosh, giving a guy's ex a massage in his presence, and then vice versa. Molly was also doing the same. Now, you guys already know how I feel about the whole Molly and Callum situation. I am going to reiterate everything that I've said in the past couple of reviews at the end of this review as well, but all I'm going to say is right now is I'm not here for the Molly and Callum show, and I just don't want to see the storyline continuously remixed every single day, because so far we're 3 episodes in and that's definitely what it's given, but we're going to get into that shortly as well. Now let's move on to the nighttime. Of course, we know that Jake was speaking to Lewis about not feeling himself in the villa, and you know, I haven't found love, I haven't found anyone. That for me was a very interesting reason. You guys know he ends up leaving anyway, spoiler alert, but that for me was an interesting reason, only because it's only been 3 days, babe. Like, honestly, the people in the villa right now aren't necessarily all the people that's going to be here in the next couple of weeks. I don't know how this season is going to run in terms of people being dumped, because it's an all-star season, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, very interesting. And of course, Lewis was just telling him to take it easy. It is still definitely early days, and there's still time for you to develop in this villa as well. But we're going to get into that shortly as well. Now, of course, Jake now ended up gathering everyone around the fire pit, and instantly everyone already knew. Like, even before Jake said, like, guys, I'm leaving, they're just like, Jake, no. Oh no, Jake, don't do it. No. Oh, I'm not heartless, guys, I promise. Guys, I promise I'm not heartless, but I don't know about the reasoning. I said it in yesterday's review that I'm very happy that Jake chose his mental health over anything, okay? Your mental health is not worth views, worth money, worth PR, worth endorsements, worth sponsorships, none of that, okay? So I'm very glad that he did choose his mental health and of course ended up leaving the villa. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know if I feel like he gave the show a chance, if that makes sense. I feel like he possibly was actually quite triggered at the fact that he was in the same villa, literally sleeping in the same bed with his ex, who he hasn't spoken to in ages, and the atmosphere just being really weird in the villa. And I feel like that probably was the main reason why he left. I know he did say at the end that that wasn't the reason, but I do feel like it was, because finding love in 2 to 3 days in the Love Island villa, I mean, you genuinely didn't even give it a chance. But of course, he ended up saying that he was leaving the villa, and Jake and Liberty were the first 2 to go for a chat. I needed Liberty to stand up just a tiny bit, if I'm going to be honest with you, okay? I like keeping her before as well, okay, babes? You guys know I do love Liberty here, but, you know, she was like crying and really emotional, which I do understand and also appreciate. But at the same time, it's like, he done what's best for him and he needed to go. So the tears and the drama, I don't know if I would ever be in such a similar situation and my ex says that he's leaving and I would cry. I think that's what I'm trying to say. If you'll cry, let me know down below. I'm not heartless, I promise you, but yeah, I just felt like that was interesting, okay? Now let's move on to, of course, Jake now speaking with Maya Jama at the end. It was like he giving a little Oprah session. I was very surprised at the setup, if I would say so. I feel like just maybe, you guys know, in my head I'm actually a director, but I feel like the transition with him leaving and then that mini talk show of like 2 to 3 questions, it just felt a bit awkward for them to now go back to the episode after that was done. I don't know, am I making sense? Because I don't think there's going to be, is there going to be After Sun for this season? I don't know as well. So yeah, and is it also going to be like this for everyone who leaves the villa? So yeah, that's just a couple questions in my head that I'm just trying to get out there. But he did, of course, tell Maya when she did ask him, you know, that it wasn't because of Liberty, that he felt like he just needed to work on himself on the outside. Maybe his love is watching the show and things like that. But once again, I do feel like Liberty was probably one of the main reasons why he did decide to leave the villa, because it's only been 3 days, my love. You're not going to find love in 3 days. Now let's move on back to the villa. Lewis was confirming how much he liked Demi, XYZ. We already covered that. And Anton was also speaking to Georgia H about the whole Toby situation as well. Georgia H, not Georgia H, sorry, I think Georgia S. Yeah, Georgia S. Georgia S does really like Anton as well. So I'm interested to see, not really interested, but let's just see how she navigates the whole Toby and Anton situation. Kaz was talking to Lewis and reading his tats. I don't know what it is with some boys having such cringy tattoos. I don't know. But yeah, sorry, that was just me speaking out loud. But yeah, I hope Kaz reads the room as well as we're reading the room, i.e. that I don't think Lewis is into her. And yeah, I don't know. Do you guys think Lewis is into Kaz? I don't think she is, and I don't think he is, sorry. And I just want them to send someone in who's gonna love Kaz, be there for Kaz, and just want to be with Kaz. Because Lewis gives me the vibes that, okay, he might tell Kaz he likes her one day and then the next day be going back to Demi or going back to someone else. And on top of that, yesterday he called her sis, so I don't know if she didn't hear that he called her sis, but yeah, I just don't want what happened in Kaz's season to happen again, because sis is too beautiful to be dealing with that. Now let's move on to Callum asking Molly if she still fancies him, and then she outed him as to why they broke up, and she was saying, oh, he doesn't compliment me, you know, I can tell him he looks so handsome, he looks so this, he looks so that, and he'll just say you too. So it ended up becoming a group discussion because they were in the midst of other people, but also an argument at the same time. I don't know if there was wine in Molly's cup, but I did hear once that they don't even allow alcohol at the villa or something like that. So I don't even know if she was drunk or she's just naturally really loud, but she was really loud in today's episode. Like, I think there was one point where I heard screaming and I was just thinking, why is she shouting? Like, I know you definitely want to get your points out, but it was a bit overwhelming. Let me know if you agree or disagree. That's definitely how I felt whilst I was listening to it. But of course she was saying that, oh yeah, even like when I told him I loved him, he was laughing in my face. You were laughing in my face? Yeah, you were. Yeah. Like, I don't know, it felt like a lot. Maybe I'm just overstimulated right now, I don't know, but it just felt like a lot. And the truth of the matter is, Toby was low-key being a cheeky Dr. Phil, because he was just like, do you still love, in the midst of the argument, or he was like, do you still love her? Oh, but you still like her though. And then Callum's like, yeah, like looking down, yeah, I still like her. Like, yeah. So I'm just going to give you my honest opinion, and I have been saying this since yesterday and also with the live that we done. This isn't blue therapy. Yeah, I'm just gonna nip it in the bud. This isn't blue therapy. I feel like if Callum still likes the babe, that Love Island wasn't the show for him. He needs to go and see a therapist, just healing in some capacity, some way, shape or form. You can definitely see that there is unfinished business. I hate saying that, it's such a Love Island term, but you can definitely see that there is unfinished business between them, and I don't see the storyline ending anytime soon, because I feel like Callum is going to continuously be triggered anytime he sees Molly getting on with somebody else in the villa, or anyone else trying to basically put it on her. So yeah, let me know what you think. If you agree or disagree, that's fine, but for me personally, I'm happy for them to wrap up that storyline by Friday. Okay, I don't think we need to see that storyline in week 2 to week 5. Let's move on to Chris now pulling Molly for a chat. In the midst of all of that, it lets you know that Chris is also just as messy as Mitch, because in the midst of that, there was definitely tensions, okay? Tensions were high, they were rising in the midst of everyone there. And Chris now comes saying, oh, Molly, can I talk to you? Yeah, I need to talk to you like right now. She's like, oh my God, right now? Okay, you're like, sure, babe. So of course, they now have a conversation. They're going to now talk about the whole situation. And Chris did also say in his confessionals, wow, I have really good memory. Anyway, Chris also did say in his confessionals that he does feel like the only thing standing between him and Molly is Callum. So I think he's trying to kind of fish out the situation to figure out, okay, if Callum is out of the mix, then let me see how I can try and get involved with Molly, and let's see if we can make something happen. So of course they now ended up having a conversation, and then he did say that allegedly if you stare into someone's eyes for 2 minutes straight, that it means that you love them, or is a sign of falling in love with them, one of the two. Anyway, they ended up doing that. No one should ever ask me to do that, because awkward eye contact is one of my biggest pet peeves. Okay, but after that they ended up sharing a very intimate kiss, and the way the camera angled it was almost like Callum could also see that they were kissing as well, and he looked a bit triggered. Now of course we did get a glimpse of tomorrow night, and tomorrow we are going to be saying hello to Josh from season 1. I low-key forgot about him until they actually showed his face again, and I was just like, okay, yeah, I remember him. He was from season 1. He also branded himself as an OG. You guys know how I feel about, you know, wearing that medal. Okay, but it's okay. He can join Lewis and also join Hannah with that OG status in Love Island. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see who he goes for. Maybe Molly, maybe Liberty, maybe anyone, maybe Kat, maybe anyone. Okay, let's just see how it goes. But overall, it was better than yesterday's episode, I'll definitely say that. So I'd love to get your opinion and also hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. Other than that, guys, and I thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the love and the support. I still can't believe we're doing Love Island reviews again, generally speaking. I thought it was 8 weeks, but it's actually 5 weeks. And also some of you have requested for me to do more lives like we did for episode 1. So I'm going to figure out what day we can do that in a week. So maybe we'll do it on a Sunday, or maybe on a Monday. I don't know, I'll figure it out and then I'll let you guys know in the community tab on my channel. But other than that, guys, and I thank you so much for watching, for your love and also for your support. Once again, if you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe and join the family, and also be sure to follow me on my Instagram and also on my Twitter. But other than that, thank you guys, I love you loads, and I shall see you tomorrow. Bye.